Hi everyone, my name's Steve, one of the team members, Nationwide Boat Sale. I'm just going to do a video for you regards buying a boat privately and what potentially could go wrong. We're not against buying boats privately. If you want to do that, it's fine, but there are a lot of risks that we're hearing from clients, customers who have either tried to buy a boat privately or have actually bought a boat privately and got the fingers burnt. So we just don't want that to happen. It's not a scaremongering exercise, it's just giving you some facts. So, if you decide to buy a boat privately, one thing that we see more and more of is that people have been buying boats that are not RCD compliant. Now, RCD stands for the Recreational Craft Directive, and if you Google Recreational Craft Directive, the government website will show you about hundreds of pages about the RCD compliance. And the British Marine, I've got some good information there too. The bones of the matter are with the RCD is that if a boat is built after 1998, you legally cannot sell that boat if it has not got RCD compliance. And with the RCD compliance, whoever fitted the boat or built the boat, there'll be a folder with pages of information, of diagrams of the wirings, etc., on the boat. So the whole idea of that directive is to make sure a boat's safe, that nobody's going to get injured on that boat, or the boat's not going to catch fire. I'm not scaremongering, this is what it's there for. So it's not going to catch fire or sink or whatever it may be. So if a boat hasn't got RCD compliance that was built after 1998, you can't sell that boat for 5 years after the day of completion. So where people are getting confused, they're going, well, I bought the hull 10 years ago, I can now sell the boat. But if you only completed the fit out today, i.e. wiring, heating, the list goes on, you can't legally sell that boat for 5 years from the day of completion from today. You can get the boat RCD compliant after you've fitted it, but the cost will be extortionate, because now the boat's going to be taken apart in order to check the wiring, pipe work, etc. So it's always best to get it done as you're going through the build. And you're probably going to look in the region of £7,000 plus to get that boat compliant after it's being fitted out. The cost to do that whilst it's being done is a lot less than that. So we're seeing people that have bought a boat privately, it's not RCD compliant, and legally now they can't sell that boat if it's not more than 5 years after that completion. And the question is, do you really want all that aggro and hassle and aggravation? The reason that you're coming through an accredited broker like us is to avoid all that. Nothing's 100%, but we go beyond to check, things like this on boats for you, for our customers. So the other thing to consider is, again, it's not scaremongering. If that boat is not RCD compliant and you have a major claim on that boat, is your insurance company going to pay out? I don't know. You need to ask your insurance company. If my boat's not RCD compliant and something happens to the boat, will you pay out? Ask the question. Again, do you really want to take that risk? That's a massive risk to take. And I don't know what it is, but people don't take those risks generally with anything else, with cars, caravans, motorhomes. But you mention water and people just melt and go, it's all right, just give us the keys to the boat and we'll sail off in the sunset. It's only when something happens, it's like driving the car without insurance. You're great until you get caught or you have an accident, then you've got big problems. So what I'd say to you is be very, very careful with that. And at the end of the video, I'll tell you how we can help you with all this. Is there outstanding finance on the boat? How do you know there's not any outstanding finance on the boat? Do they own the boat? A bill of sale is very easy to replicate. An invoice is very easy to replicate now. We've had a situation recently where customers have paid a deposit on the boat. The person's then decided they don't want to sell it and not give them the deposit back. And some of these deposits were hefty deposits. We've had situations where somebody's paid a deposit on a boat, paid for the boat to be lifted, paid for the boat to be surveyed, and the person's then said, we're not renegotiating the price, even though the one was over £10,000 worth of plate work required, and they wouldn't renegotiate and they kept the deposit, a hefty deposit. Why take that risk and the hassle? Why now go through a legal battle to get that money back? There's no need to do that. The other thing is we have as a company, and the details are on our website, a protected client account. Now, it's not just a separate customer account. It's a separate client account. It's the same account that solicitors use to for mortgage payments. So you can, brokers, I'm on about brokers now as well, and even if you buy it privately. So brokers can get a client trust account. If they haven't got one, you've got to ask the question why, because the banks are regulated and they will only issue them if they're satisfied with the answer to the questions that they need to issue that account. We've had that account for over 21 years, and there's proof of that account. We don't say we've got one, there's the proof. I've obviously highlighted out the bank details, but our company's Grat Hayward Boat Sales Limited, trading as Nationwide Boat Sales Limited. So all our customers' money goes into this client account. It's a protected account. So what that means is that as a business, we can't use that money. And if the company went bust, the rightful owner would get that money back. If that money does not go into that account and it goes into anybody's business account or whatever, and they've got financial problems, they could use that money for cash flow. And if they go bust, you probably won't get that money back because it will be used to pay off other people. So it's vitally important that if you deal with a broker, they've got that account. We see so many people that are dealing with some of these big corporate companies now, and even they have not got a separate client account. We have, and then we've had it for over 21 years. That's not legislation. There is no legislation. You don't have to have a client account. But as a family-owned business, we feel it's vitally important to protect our buyers and sellers' money and the boat, and that's why we've had that for over 21 years. So remember, it's not just a separate customer business account. It's actually called a separate client account. So you're buying a boat privately. These are just a few of the risks I've talked about now and that we've heard customers experience. You're now going to part money with somebody you've never met in your life, tens of thousands of pounds, if not over £100,000, with somebody you've never met before in your life, and you're going to transfer that money to them. Without any checks being done, there's no contracts in place, there's nothing. I'm amazed that people actually do that. They get a receipt on a bit of paper, a boat service certificate, which easily can be replicated, a set of boat keys, all boat keys, engine keys are standard keys, easily replicated. And they sail off in the sunset and just give somebody all that money they don't even know. So what we've done for quite some time, and we've been doing this for quite a few years now, where customers has asked us, look, we found a boat privately, we really like this boat, but we don't want to get our fingers burnt. So we handle that purchase for you. So you're instructed as the agent to deal with that. So what we do is we check all the boat paperwork, we check the RCD compliance, we run checks on the person that owns the boat, prove that they paid for the boat. The list goes on and on and on and on. We will renegotiate after a survey. So if there's a survey carried out and there's lots of work required, then we'll renegotiate, just as we do if you buy a brokerage boat for us. So if you buy a brokerage boat for us and there's work required on that survey, then we'll renegotiate. It's not an option. The client, the seller, has to reasonably renegotiate on that on the outcome of that survey. So we will do all that for you. We will hold the funds in the protected client account so that funds will be safe. This is also good for the seller. So if you're selling a boat privately, what a great thing to say. Look, I'm selling a boat privately, but I'm using an agent to carry out all the paperwork and checks on the boat. That will give a buyer confidence and peace of mind. The other thing is, why not use an accredited broker like yourself to do everything right? You know, you could sell your house privately. I don't think many people would buy the house from you if you was doing it privately and you as a solicitor and you're handling all the money. So why would you do that? Do that with a boat? And you know, people focus on what's the commission. We like to call it investment fees. The investment fees are irrelevant. What matters is to the buyer and the seller. To the seller is how much money do you get back after those fees have been taken out, and generally it will be more than what it will be if you try to sell it privately, because people buying it privately will expect a deal, expect to get things cheap or cheaper, not always, but generally. I know I do if I buy something, privately, a push bike or something, rather than go to a shop. And the same as a seller, you've got peace of mind that you're not going to have to carry out the viewings, you're not going to have to renegotiate. You basically have no dealings generally with the person that's buying the boat. We will deal with that unless we need to get you involved at some stage, but generally we deal with all that. So have a look on the website. There is a link and a page regards buying the boat privately. We're not saying don't. What we're saying is just be careful. And if you're selling, you don't want to sell that boat not knowing whether that boat is compliant, because that's just going to come back and cause you a load of hassle and grief that you just don't need. So there is a link on the website. Have a look at the link. If you want us to get involved and help you, just fill out the details. One of our team will call you or give us a bell, 01889 881 960. It's another early start, so I've got to excuse the pun, but set sail and get on my way today. I'm up in Manchester personally. The other 4 team members are all over the country selling boats on appointments. So, yeah, give us a call, 01889 881 960, and have a great day. Thank you for listening.